5 minutes to patch. That's not bad. Seven minutes to patch. All right, Esper Dance. This is card for card, one of Gottlieb's recommended lists. I don't think this is exactly the list that he played. I don't think this is exactly the list that he won the fandom tournament with, but it was linked on one of his deck pages somewhere. The field matchup is hard, so you added more ego. Yeah, I'd believe that. I mean, this deck's basically a traditional control deck, right? Sure. I've been a little bit medium on Veto lately. That's probably a fine cut. All right. So basically the core idea of this deck is to use Dance of the Manse to return up to X target artifact and or non-aura enchantments from your graveyard to the battlefield. If X is 6 or more, it makes them 4/4s. They can beat people down. So we play Golden Eggs and Guild Globes here, along with this card Doom Foretold and Oathakaya as things we can get back to bring them back into play. And then Doom Foretold is also sweet alongside these eggs and globes because it makes each player sacrifice something every turn, and we have these kind of crappy artifacts that we don't mind sacrificing. So let's go ahead and give this a go and see how it feels. And you know what? I'm just gonna go full ham and put 4 egos on the board. I think that's where I think 4 egos is where I want to be in my life. Why is this called Stacks? It's called Stacks because a bunch of people tried to name it that don't know what a Stacks deck is. So I called this Esper Dance or Esper Control. Calling it Stacks is disingenuous, and it's a disservice to what Stacks decks actually are. Yeah, there's been a ton of Golos on the ladder. Brian also calls it Esper Dance. I knew I liked Brian. Seemed like a man of culture. It's not even a prison deck. Yeah, Esper Dance or Esper Control is far more descriptive and accurate. There is, unfortunately, just one E-League match that I played, and it's me getting crushed by Blue-Green Ramp with Green-Black Henge. What is a Stacks deck? A Stacks deck is... Stacks refers to the card Smokestacks. It was a really old deck that's actually before I started playing competitive Magic that basically tapped players off their lands every turn and made them sacrifice crap. It's kind of obnoxious. Resource denial as a strategy would be an apt description. Feel kind of dead? Our hand was a little bit medium. I guess if they hadn't duressed us, like Oath into this would have been good, but we just didn't have enough meaningful interaction here. I didn't play Doom because if I play Doom, it's gonna make me discard a card. This card's symmetrical. Right? Oh, it sacks itself. That makes sense. All right, yes, that was bad. Let's just go to the next one. You sacrifice Doom makes you sacrifice itself. Okay, so I could have just traded Doom for the Narset there. That's a very good line. Thank you for pointing that out. How was Modern this morning? It was okay. Moto actually became laggier and slower with the latest update. I think it was getting jealous that Arena was possibly the laggiest client on the block. So, like, we played a deck and we went 3-2. We played against Urza, and playing against Urza kind of blows. But the deck was interesting overall. Do I want Ego in this matchup? I feel like egoing their Nivs, like, might not be terrible. I'm gonna bring in a couple of them. I wonder if we're supposed to cut some of these eggs against Narset. They fixed the priest interaction yesterday will blow my mind. Mine too. I think I'm just going to take fires here. Because I can Murderous Rider this Narset. Yeah, that's been my experience too, Dude Light. If a deck doesn't just get, like, we lost to it with Naya tokens, but that's the first time I'd lost to it, and the Naya tokens deck just, like, never beats a sweeper. Was its core issue. What happened with Priest yesterday? Priest is broken in terms of, Priest doesn't work when you target both players with it. It doesn't make both players sacrifice a creature. As it's supposed to. What does it do? It only makes one of the players sacrifice a creature. It was not a good scene. He almost lost a game because of it. Yeah, I had a lethal turn set up by making myself sacrifice, and then thankfully my opponent didn't draw out of it and we killed them the following turn anyways. Oh, that one.
I have a plan. Let your weak minds crumble.
It's a good draw.
Conceivable.
I'm known for my excellent timing. Trust me, I have a plan.
That is a flavor win, isn't it? That is a flavor win. What is this clip? Man, that's an old clip. That is an old clip. And good golly, did my old headset sound a lot worse than this this Blue Yeti microphone. Well, at some point, we will hopefully draw spells. Yeah, take these thoughts. It was a good turn, Zuchin. At least they're feeding me hit points. Morning, Ishin. And just for reference, if you ever if you ever feel the need to want to look at nostalgia, feel free. Like, I don't delete things on my YouTube channel. There is a lot of content on my YouTube channel from ages past. I got a dirty secret for you, Toe Smasher. I'm still in my 20s. So they brought in Ego too, because peak magic, all that. So they've got 2 Lilianas, a Chandra, some Legion War bosses. They only actually have 3 Nyx. I am grumpy beyond my years. Yep. Yeah, January we will be 29. It's just that bad, Jensen. This is not a stack. It's a Esper dance deck. How the deck so far today been? Modern deck was okay. Standard deck, first standard deck was kind of medium. Uncertain how I feel about this one. Yeah, that's an old one. Although, I am gonna have to tag the first video from today. The first standard video is gonna have to get tagged with some NSFW language, which tagging one of my videos with NSFW language is basically like clickbait. Whenever I do that, people always watch it more. The Meankin deck's getting played tomorrow. It's just it's like honest clickbait. Lots of people click in. What did I say and why? Oh, we had some bad political stances in chat. And we had someone that did the internet classic "you're wrong" and I'm not going to tell you why you're wrong. So I kindly escorted them towards the door. Does this list have blue and black castles? I think it has a black castle in it. Always the pun and only. You ever looked at if people stop subbing after being banned? No, I assume that they're going to stop subbing when I ban them.
Might be a bad idea.
Like many people in the United States, actually that's not even true, like some people, I am in a privileged position where I can afford to stand up for what I believe in by like not collecting an extra $5 a month from some people, or $3 a month or whatever I get from a sub. As always, I'm honest with you, so there's probably some ungodly amount of money that I would tolerate nonsense for, but it's definitely not $3 a month. Oh, that's a good line, Hurt. I could cycle my eggs. That's probably better than killing their 2/2 there, huh? I like that suggestion. How has this been? Match 1, game 1, or match 1, game 2, down a game. I missed an important line in game 1, so. Oh, you know what? I'm probably supposed to bring in that fairy out of the sideboard against any deck that could Unmoored Ego me. Nah, like one swear word. I don't really tag things on SFW. I think that's unnecessary. Oh, this is a mistake too. Totally could have done this during my draw step. Because I have this idiot in play.
That's more like it.
Definitely could have taken whatever this spell is. Yep. Alright, I'm just gonna be done. Alright, so I messed up both games there pretty badly. Was a big dumb stupid. And that's usually one of the signs of a deck's not very powerful when I'm keeping track of it, is if a deck's not powerful enough to carry me through my mistakes, it probably doesn't have a very strong power level. When someone tries to justify a deck to you as it's good, you just have to play tight, what that actually translates into is this deck is bad, but if you play better than your opponents, you can still win sometimes anyways. That's usually, in my experience, that's usually what that translates into. Cries in death and taxes. So, I really dislike, in general, trying to sort decks into hard to pilot slots. Just because what you find hard to pilot, I'm not going to, and vice versa in a lot of instances. So just because one player finds things difficult doesn't mean another player is also going to find them difficult. Well, those are draws. I guess I take that one because it's card advantage. Just need lands at this point. The fact that there's only two heroes downfall on this list feels a little weird. The various Oko decks are great. I think level 0 in this format, like the base level good decks, is probably Golos Field. We played a little bit of a variation of that yesterday. I didn't bottom there to try and find a land because I felt taking a good card away from my opponent was more important than hitting a land drop that turn. You feel like Golos Field is better than Yarok Field? I think they're better at different things. I think Golos Field is much better than Yarok Field is at going way over the top of people. And I think at this current point, the things I'm seeing people play in the format, being able to go way over the top of people is more important. Yeah, it's on my website. It's the Rankocrats list on my website. It's also up on the Stream Decker. There's title Red Black Aristocrats. So we've got Oath of Kaya here to finish off Narset, which is nice. These Fae of Wishes are going to get them something silly at some point, I'm sure, but for now we're doing okay. Second Oath's like, it's not the land we wanted for Christmas, but it does at least kill Sarkhan after he downticks to make a 4/4. How does Globe feel for mana fixing compared to Egg? I mean, you're not really playing either of these cards for the mana fixing that they provide. We're playing them for the purpose of like... So I think I'm actually going to play this turn rather than this. Because this saves me the same amount of life either way. This just gives me a chance to hit a land drop. Which of course we didn't do, but it gave us a chance to. I can still Oath of Kaya down Sarkin next turn. Alright, what kind of big scary do you have? Or are they gonna get the Casualty of Wars and like take me off a land tier? Because I'm stumbling. Yeah, mid-range aggro decks are not very good.
I summon you.
Okie doke. Okie dokie. They got Command the Dread Horde. For people that missed, that blinked and I conceded. Yeah, I have one Elderspell. They got Command the Dread Horde. Does this deck want a 4th Thought Erasure? I think this deck wants a lot of things. I don't think that's true, Gundog. That's not what I said. I actually think like the 1-drop aggro decks like Mardu and Red Black Knight seem very reasonable. It's the more mid-range. It's the more mid-range aggressive decks that are not good. If your aggro curve starts at 2 in this format, your deck's probably not competitive. The Best Rock, thank you for the 8 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Our Monster Styles decks distribute aggro deck. Yeah, those are kind of what I'm describing. They tend to have more haste in them, though, which makes them better. So, like, if your top end is questing Beast right now, you're probably okay. But if your top end is not questing Beast, you're probably going to have a bad time. I know it's not a land, but I wanted to rest this other Planeswalker, so... Yeah, I would argue you're probably not mid-range aggro if you have 8 good 1-drops. That's pretty low to the ground. And that could be semantics at that point, but how I would classify things, I would not classify that as a mid-range aggro deck. I do think that an aggressive deck with the Royal Scions in it is probably really sweet in this format somewhere, though. We're going to try the Temur Oko deck we're playing after this one today. Has Oko and Royal Scions. And it has 10 3-mana Planeswalkers in it. Because that's everybody's favorite, I know. We're starting to settle a little bit slow future, but until we have a few real tournaments, it's not going to settle too much, I don't think. Can you explain why you feel that deck is competitive against Golos Field, Kitsu? That would be my question. Why is that style of deck competitive against that? I think I'm just gonna Despark this. Maybe I just Elderspell. Yeah, I'm just gonna Elderspell and Globe here, I think. Hey, Pure Bunker. Thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. How do I feel about this deck so far? It feels pretty middling. I feel like decks that can't really close have a hard time at the moment. Yeah, Despark tagging Fires later is real. I mean, it doesn't have to be Dak Faden though, right? Like, Dak Faden's not a standard power level card. Like, a standard power level Dak Faden's probably fine. Hey, thanks for the tip, Dude Light. Happy Thursday to you. Please add Grixis Alliance back to the queue. We need to prove Grixis has a playable deck. Or disprove. That's the downside.
Here goes nothing.
We've not played Jeskai Fires yet. It's getting towards the top of the queue, though. I'll probably get to it either tomorrow or Monday, depending on how things look. Although I might do a stream Saturday night. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to stream Saturday or Sunday during the day because the Open is going on, but I might do some Saturday night after the Open is done. At a real deck, they mostly add nonsense. Yeah, something like that. Maybe Grixis Alliance is actually nonsense. They're trying to show that to the world. All right, so we're getting a Chandra emblem, which is a little unfortunate. We do have some life gain though, so that's nice. Hey, Apex the Prodigy, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that.
No pressure.
That's nice. What you got? That could kind of go either way. Time White pick their Fae of Wishes back up is real dirty. I'll have you know I've donated for about 20 decks this year and 2 of them were playable 2 whole decks. It's funny because it's true. I just like never beat that card, right? I guess they can't cast it currently because they need fires to cast it. They're gonna get back so many goodies. Watch a lot of YouTube, yeah, because of work, but decided to use my break to pop in the chat. I was wondering if you think a modern deck playing Drawn in the Lock would prefer it. Its cantrip is Thought Scour over Opt. I'm not sure. I feel my gut to me says, oh, they made a mistake. They played this as their second spell for the turn, so I get to Despark it. So that's really good. I feel like decks in Modern on average probably put enough cards in their bin that you can still just play Opt, but it's definitely something that I would need to test. They also, playing this out is also bad because if I just had a removal spell for this, they would then, if I just had a removal spell for this, the Doom Foretold would have made them sack that. So like, I feel like their play there was bad, not only because of the Despark, but also because Despark could have just been any removal spell for this Fae of Wishes. Morning, Reclaimer. Yeah. Yeah, but if I oathed that turn when they blocked Puppet, I couldn't have played Doom that turn. And I think playing Doom that turn was more important. Well, much like my experience playing against this deck on the ladder, playing with it has made it seem really mediocre. I definitely would not be surprised if this is one of those decks, kind of like the green-black henge deck, where, like, it looked okay in the first couple days, but then, like, as people figured out things that are genuinely powerful to do, this deck falls off a bit. Trending towards the warm embrace of the rink floor, yep. That's a good observation, Viper. I wasn't really worried about it there, because I already had an Othakai in my hand. But in an event that I didn't have an Othakai in my hand, that's a good suggestion. So format is shaping up to be field versus Oko versus aggro. Yeah, at a glance, if you ask me to evaluate the format right now, I would describe level 1, the base level decks that you should be prepared to have game plans against are the Oko Nissa ramp decks and the Golos field ramp decks. It feels like ramp is the cornerstone to the format at the moment. Yeah, like, if I would have been... You'd had black aggro with Wrinkle Atlas. Yeah, maybe. I haven't seen that much of that, Bob. But I definitely think those decks have potential to break out. But I haven't seen those really popular. The black aggro's like on my list of, these are certainly good if you put the work in, but they're not, we don't know approximately what a good one looks like yet. There's a lot of variation. Like the core differs from build to build still. So, these tokens decks have a lot of other ways to enable this Love Struck Beast, so I would not be surprised if this attacks still. Are we going to put Rankle in Grixis Alliance? Yeah, next time we play Grixis Alliance, we're going to include some Rankle. Oh, Turnpike. Oh, did we get one out of their hand? I don't know why this card takes it out of people's hands. It's such a feel-bad card. Such a huge feel-bad card. Now this might be a matchup that's good for us. A lot of the other matchups we played so far, Kaya's Wrath hasn't been very good in. And against green-white creatures deck, Kaya's Wrath is probably going to be excellent. Oh, that's a good observation. I should draw step Legion's End in case they hit another one. I like that. I like that observation. So we're going to Doom Foretold here to get rid of the Love Struck Beast. Because they can't sacrifice tokens to this. Oh, I'll bet you they thought they could march and forgot that I had Teferi out. We've all been there. We've all been there, chat. I can't even tell you how many times I've passed, like expecting to like play a spell on their turn. It's just like, oh right, that's not something I can do in this game anymore. I feel like Othakai is probably a little medium here. A lot of their creatures are either really small or bigger than this. Bring in Cry, bring in Disfigure. Leaving a couple of these because they're still fine with Dance and they're fine with Doom Foretold. Maybe this is good enough with Doom Foretold that I leave it in. A lot of other cards that are good with it though. Yeah, let's do this. for Grixis Alliance, let's get cut for Wrinkle. If you head on over to my website and click Standard Decks, you'll be able to find my current Grixis Alliance list up there, which I'm 90% sure has Wrinkle in it. Did Past Jeff update it? Let's find out. Let's find out if we need to tar and feather Past Jeff. Good guy, Past Jeff. Updated the deck list. Look at that. I thought I did. I think I've been that because I've seen another black source here. So they get to go Innkeeper Loxodon. I took their Lovestruck Beast because of the second Innkeeper. I didn't want them to be able to cantrip with it. So they think they can beat Kaya's Wrath here, which is interesting. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to Kaya's Wrath on 4. It might just be Teferi bouncing their 4/4 back to their hand, just like take them back a turn, takes the most power out of play.
Let's tear this place apart. All things begin and end in nature.
Life comes at you hard sometimes, PK Jeff. Life comes at you hard sometimes. Stormfist Crusader is an absurdly powerful card that you want 5 of. You want 6 of them in every one of your black-red aggro decks. It's very good. There's 4 of them in the Aristocrats deck for a reason. There's 4 of them in the Red-Black Knights deck for a reason.
For the fallen.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yikes. Jump.
Matter of time.
Well, we're now a scrambled egg. We've been scrambled. Questing Beast is so good. Jeff's dirty little secret to winning more in Standard. Put 4 Questing Beasts in your green deck. How come when the opponent's playing tokens, the Wraths are missing? So, I have a very easy flow chart for you for knowing when the sweeper is going to be there. When your opponent has the sweeper always, and you have the sweeper never. Very easy, straightforward to remember. LSV said Wicked Wolf is going to be more impactful than Questing Beast during Standard E-League. I think Wicked Wolf is a very powerful card, but I also don't think Wicked Wolf automatically goes into every green deck, and I do think Questing Beast goes in every green deck. So I also think Wicked Wolf is an incredibly powerful card, and everywhere Oko and Goose go, the Wolf's going to follow. But Questing Beast should basically be in every deck that makes green mana. Is there any chance Questing Beast will be good in Modern? So the easiest way to figure out if a 4-mana card is going to be good in Modern is you ask yourself the question, does your opponent die the turn you play it? Which I guess the answer to that for this card is sometimes yes, so maybe it's probably too slow and fair though. It's probably too slow and fair. I had to venture a guess. The Broco emote turned out really well. I am super happy with how the Broco emote ended up. My art guy did a good job with it.
Trust me. Thank you. Trust me. I have a plan.
We actually have, this is hashtag humble brag. We have too many emotes to put them all in a command, I believe. We hit the character limit.
That didn't pan out. This might be a bad idea.
Can you talk about what makes Thought Erasure powerful in the meta and when you want to be playing a Thought Erasure deck? I would first challenge you to reject the concept that there is a really established, defined metagame that you can metagame against. In general, people just kind of play whatever they want. Thought Erasure is just a generically good card, and if you're playing blue and black cards, you should probably have Thought Erasure in your deck most of the time. I just draw a card here, I think. I don't want to get like Questing Beast next turn. Or if I do get Questing Beast next turn, I don't want to just lose this without getting a card out of it. Opponent's had enough, apparently. Probably shouldn't let them untap there. No, I didn't want my Teferi to hit by Questing Beast, Flying Tempest. So I'm fine with them drawing a couple cards if they have an adventure creature, because my sweeper is just going to kill that creature. So they kind of end up a card if that happens, but protecting myself from Questing Beast is more valuable there than them drawing cards, I think. So the reason why I passed was because I wanted to not get Questing Beasted that turn. The only types of matchups where Thought Erasure are really bad are decks that empty their hand super quickly, and even then in game 1, Thought Erasure is fine there. It's like not good because it doesn't impact the board, but it's still like playable. In fact, the fact that this deck doesn't have 4 for some reason is probably a mistake. This deck's got a number of like weird numbers in it, like random 3s and 4s and 1s. Or 3s and 1s. 4s aren't random. 4s are good. Yeah, but like paying 2 mana to Surveil's not really a rate you're excited about. It's not something you write home about. All right, let's make sure my face does not become their quest. Yeah, I agree, Doomfist. It kind of, to me, feels like this deck being somewhat successful to start was more of a testament to the fact that, like, sweepers are good in this format. And it kind of feels like sweepers are good enough against enough of these decks that are like, what you win past the sweepers doesn't matter. Gross. All right, let's tempo that one.
This isn't a fight you can win.
Like, in my mind, again, I've been talking about, you know, the Golos decks being the decks to beat, or like the ones that seem like out front the best to start. Those decks are also decks that get to play sweepers. Almost all the fandom lists today are main deck sweepers. Yeah, all of the... It's actually kind of interesting in a way how the streamer tournaments kind of skew what people are actually playing, because all these streamer tournaments seem to have this very real bias in favor of dirtling and against playing efficient decks, which is really neat, because like a lot of people don't like having downtime in those tournaments is bad content. And like there's a lot of people who look down on those easy aggro decks, right? And again, that's why we talk about like those smaller tournaments kind of creating a very inbred experience in a way, because like people know that there's less likely to be aggro, so like they're kind of like this like greed arms race that happens. Then it happened in the MPL too, to be fair. The MPL, I think the MPL players are a lot more likely to play aggro. But I definitely think the metagame gets a little inbred is true, though. Like, players expect certain other players in their pool to gravitate towards particular archetypes more than others. And I feel like because it's 2019 as this is the internet, I need to clarify that, like, I don't think the fandom tournaments are bad. I think they're entertaining to watch and Magic is fun. But I think it's also important to, like, talk about what's happening there and why potentially and examine it critically. No, the SCG tournaments I would not consider an inbred tournament because they just can't be. SCG Opens frequently have hundreds or even 1,000 players at them. That's not a small metagame tournament like these other ones that we're talking about. Yeah, we're already patched, J Miller. I learned a secret to making the patch happen. It was great. I even shared my secret with everyone who was watching the stream when we updated. And we've died. I'm like super off this deck. Do open deck lists help or hurt that? That's actually a really important distinction too, that actually I didn't talk about there. Public deck lists help mid-range and control and hurt aggro. I shocked the land because I wanted to crack the egg. Are you diamond? We're not quite at the floor yet. We're back down to diamond 3. Hey, thanks for the 5-month spawn broker. Yeah, this felt real medium. I felt like anybody with a real clock that like demanded the Wrath on 4. If we didn't have it, we just kind of died. Our win condition that we had was we never cast a big copy of this card because it felt like people were either conceding to us just having sweepers, or when we needed a win condition, this card wasn't good enough. And I think this deck probably feels bad to play against if your deck's susceptible to sweepers, but like the Golos decks also feel bad to play against if your deck's susceptible to sweepers. So this one overall was quite a miss for me. Wasn't a huge fan of it.